this was bat day, June. I looked it up in Baseball Reference today. June 9th. It was a Sunday afternoon, 1968. Bat day. Went down there. You go through the turnstiles, and they would have racks and racks of bats, and you could choose what tiger you wanted on your bat. Norm Cash, Mickey Stanley, Willie Horton, and I chose the LK line model, and that's what I did. So I hung onto the bat. It was funny because the Tiger Stadium, the kids, including myself, would start banging the bats on the concrete, and Joe Gentile, the PA announcer, would come on and announce, "All right, would you please stop hitting your bats against the concrete? The Tiger organization demands this, blah, blah, blah." So anyway, yeah. And so somehow this bat and myself ended up at the Linda LAC that afternoon, a 7-year-old in a bar, not having a cold one, of course, a cold 7-Up, and with the son of a policeman who went to the game with my father's fellow officer and his son, and we ended up seeing Norm Cash, getting Norm Cash's autograph, John Warden's and Joe Sparma's. Norm Cash was at the payphone back then, and he was wagering a bet somewhere in Texas or something. He had that southern drawl, and he saw me with the bat, and he waved me over, kind of like, he had the phone like this, and he did one of these, motioned me over. And while he was talking and chewing gum at the same time, he signed Norm Cash on this bat, which has since then been obliterated from all the use. And then I went up to John Warden, who was having a beer at the bar, and sitting on the bar stool there, and I got his autograph. He was real nice. And then Sparma, I really can't remember exactly how I got his autograph. I think he was just sitting at a table having a burger, but it was all pretty cool.
But they were accessible heroes, right?
They were. Yeah, you couldn't do that nowadays. They wouldn't be in the bar by themselves. And the bar wasn't even half full, which was amazing. It was just a few, smattering of fans who went over there after the game. I looked up the game time in Baseball Reference too, 1 hour and 55 minutes. So it was a quick game. It probably ended about, shortly after 3, because I think there were 1 o'clock starts back then, or it ended before 3, I should say, if it was 1:55. But they probably all headed over there and had their beer and their hamburger, and like you said, they were accessible, and it seemed like we were the only ones there in the bar besides the players, and we had the whole run of the place, so it was pretty cool.
It's very Detroit.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful day.
What do you remember about the Tigers in a word or two? This is from '68.
In order? Like batting order?
No. What do you remember?
See, my mind goes right to the batting order? Sure.
If you had to remember some words that captured what that season was all about.
Oh, 68, just drama. Yeah, it seemed like, the family was there. It almost felt like every Sunday. And it felt like every Sunday was a doubleheader Sunday. And if you look back at their schedule, they were playing, if not every Sunday was a doubleheader, it was every other Sunday, and we seemed to be there. And if there was a rain out, I was just totally depressed. And the alternative was, hey, let's head to Henry Ford Museum, musty old Henry Ford Museum, and go peruse the cars. Probably why I don't like cars nowadays, because it brings. I make that association, with rain and depression and all that fun stuff. But no, it was a season of drama. Matter of fact, one game. They played the Cleveland Indians in a doubleheader, and the first game went 18 innings. It was a 1-run game through 17 innings. I think in the 18th inning, Gates Brown comes up. Big Gator comes up and he gets a hit and knocks in the winning run. And they ended up starting the second game at like midnight, and they couldn't finish it because back then they had the 1 o'clock curfew with baseball. Nowadays, they can play till 5 in the morning, and there's no curfew. But I think they called it after a couple innings. But what do I remember? Just a lot of, it seemed like every Sunday, and it was all 5 of us. My parents, myself, my 2 sisters who were just rabid fans. And that really made it because they were into it. Of course, my oldest sister, Anita, she loved Pat Dobson. She just fell in love with the guy. my middle sister Claudia, she loved Bill Freehand, and we'll share some stuff about him.
Oh, go ahead, share that. That was
Oh, okay,
cool.
sure.
So
So
she-
supposedly she was.
That's supposedly.
She yeah no she was so like obsessed with him. She apparently looked up his number in the phone book, if you will. Does anyone know what a phone book is anymore? So she found out where he lived, which it was somewhere around like 11 mile or 12 mile in Southfield Road, because we were at Grand River in Southfield. So she hopped on her bike and pedaled whatever the 5, 6,
Her
7
purple Schwinn
her purple Schwinn bike. I remember that.
with your girlfriend Sharon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And she pedaled all the way to his house. Probably took her about an hour to get there. And she ended up walking up to the porch and knocking on the door. And I think his wife answered. And I don't know if he was home or not. I don't think he was. But
No, the wife told him to come back the next day.
oh, geez, isn't that hilarious?
So they did.
There's another thing that you'd never see nowadays. You
Yeah.
know, because these guys all live in gated communities,
Yeah.
probably with security guards.
Yeah, and then they went back the next day, and there were autographed pictures of Bill Freehand that his wife
Oh,
gave
geez.
the girls.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was behind the scenes stuff for a 7-year-old.
But
You know.
what a wonderful story that they didn't call the cops on Claudia and Sharon. They
Right.
gave them autographed pictures.
Yeah,
And she has
exactly.
that, and she sent me a picture of it. She still has
Isn't
it.
that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something else.